Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Drums of fuel exploding, streets shut down, and 100 homes evacuated as a massive blaze continues to burn in St. Boniface. The fire is believed to be at Speedway International, a biodiesel fuel plant. CTV's Caroline Bargout joins us now from Archibald Street. The blaze has been burning for about 6 hours now, and Caroline, firefighters just recently began to attack it.
That's right, Rajiv, and the reason for that is it was just too risky with all those explosions. In fact, we were told earlier in the night fire crews had to abandon one of their trucks in the hot zone after a tanker truck exploded. Right now, there are about 55 firefighters on the scene, and they are prepared to be here all night.
Oh my God.
What you are seeing is 75,000 liters of biodiesel explode. Beside this burning industrial plant, 2 more tanker trucks full of flammable liquid, not to mention many more gallons of racing fuel and methanol alcohol inside. That could blow at any moment.
Oh yeah.
A concern not just for emergency crews, but for those living and working nearby.
When I came out of the shop, there was nothing. Within 20 seconds, it was engulfed just the way it is now. It was like instant.
Hours later, and several more explosions forced the closure of nearby streets and the evacuation of dozens of homes within a 1-kilometer radius of the hot zone. The situation so risky, not even firefighters can get close enough to try and extinguish the blaze.
We did have a tanker explode here earlier that sent flames about half a mile in the air, which was pretty significant, and it caused us to rethink our strategy, obviously.
Winnipeg Fire Chief Reed Douglas says crews had tried to move the 2 tanker trucks full of biofuel and methanol, but the rail cars derailed and the mission was aborted.
We're looking at a fairly significant risk of explosion right now. Although the fire is starting to settle down a little bit, we're hoping that it gets down to a point where we're just making an assessment now to see if we're going to start going in and putting master streams on it.
And not too long ago, that's exactly what firefighters began to do. They are now on the ground trying to battle this blaze. Air One is in the sky, shining a light on the scene so that fire crews can see exactly what they're dealing with. The 2 tanker trucks are still believed to be next to the burning building. However, fire crews are trying to battle this blaze, and we're told that foam has been brought in to try and help.
Now, Caroline, I understand we're hearing about the possibility of toxic fumes. What exactly are fire officials saying?
Well, that was the concern earlier today, Rajiv. There has been, as you mentioned earlier, about 100 homes that were evacuated. Now, fire officials say the reason for the evacuation was the thick black smoke, and where we were standing, you could actually taste it. It was so thick. But the fire chief just told us about an hour ago that there are no toxic fumes and there are no health concerns at this point. I should also mention that no injuries were reported. But again, 100 homes have been evacuated, and because of the risk of explosions, those people will not be allowed to return home. Just a few minutes ago, we did see a couple of city buses that have been set up for people who may not have a place to stay tonight.
Thanks so much, Caroline. CTV's Caroline Bargout reporting from Archibald Street.